Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. From this session, we are going to see some of other important root words of medical terminology. Those are frequently utilized with the terminology. Okay. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic and to implement those topics. Okay. Alright, so in this session, like how we are going to proceed, firstly I'll explain you the meaning of some root word that are frequently used, and then later on we will also see the related examples, so that when like we are in an interview or in an exam, at that time it will help you. Like if you know the example, then it will help you to understand like the meaning of the actual entire terminology, because we all know that root word is something that that provide almost 90% of information related to the terminology, because that is the core meaning of the terminology, right? So that is why we are going to process in this way. So as I mentioned, like now we will start with the medical coding root words, and for today there is first root word is dermat or dermato. Dermat or dermato, which is nothing but related to skin. Okay, so whenever there is a discussion related to skin, then in that situation we will find the root word as dermat or dermato. Okay, for example, dermatitis. Dermatitis means inflammation of the skin. So if a patient is suffering from an inflammation of skin, then in that case doctors will use the terminology dermatitis, where itis we know is a suffix and dermat is a root word. It is not a prefix. Don't get confused between prefix and root word. As I mentioned, root word can be in the beginning. In introduction session we discussed this, right? That root word can be at a beginning, middle, or it can be repetitive also. Okay, so this is the example of dermatitis. Okay, then we have dermatology. Dermatology means study of his skin. So if a group of students are learning about the skin, then that study, that entire curriculum that they are following is known as dermatology, because they are learning about the skin procedure. Okay, likewise we have another root word, that is nephro or nephr. Okay, so these are the combination, like sometimes it is used as ren, sometimes it is used as reno, which is a connecting verb here, right? Then we have nephr, nephro. But wherever you find these kind of thing, it is always related to kidney. Okay, so if for example here you can see we have renal failure. Renal failure means kidney failure. So if a patient is diagnosed with a kidney failure, then in that case in report doctors will mention renal failure. Renal failure means it's a kidney related disease where kidney is failed. Okay, so you can see from one word itself, like we can easily identify like what is the disease, and at least we know which part of body is affected with this disease. Okay, because in definition also we talked about that root word is something that gives you the name of a body part or the area or portion of the body that is affected, system, organs, right? Organs that is affected, and not affected always, because here you can say dermatology means study of skin. Here nothing is infected, but we are learning about the skin, so it is related to that. Okay. Likewise we have nephrectomy. Ectomy means kidney removal. So if you remember, ectomy will discussed in suffix section, where we studied that ectomy means surgical removal of something. So due to any kidney failure or due to any reason, if a kidney is removed from the body of the patient, then this entire process is defined with the help of nephrectomy keyword, or I would say the terminology. And then this terminology contains the root word, which is nothing but a nephr. Nephr means it's related to kidney. Clear? So in this slide we discussed about two main root word. One is dermat or dermato, which is related to skin, and the another one is reno, nephro, which is related to kidney. Now we will move forward for the next slide. Here you can see we have the root word as cyst or cysto, which is nothing but related to bladder. Okay, so if something is related to bladder, then in that case you will find the root word as cyst or cysto. For example, cystitis. Okay, so this is nothing but a terminology that we use for showing the inflammation of the bladder. Okay, so if there is something related to bladder, so you can see cyst is there. Cystitis. Itis is suffix which is denoting the inflammation of something, and if cyst is there, that means inflammation of the bladder. And that is the reason we are learning about the root words, because now we know about the prefix, we know about the suffix, so we will easily identify what is the meaning of itis. And if you know the actual meaning of the word, then it is very easy for you to identify the name, right? Like cystitis means cyst is bladder, itis means inflammation, so you can simply say that it is the inflammation of the bladder. Likewise, we have cystoscopy. Cystoscopy means visual bladder inspection. So if a patient is diagnosed with some bladder related infection or something related to bladder, then in that case doctors will perform the cystoscopy, which is nothing but a visual bladder inspection, and through that inspection he will prescribe the medicines and provide the all required help treatment to the patient. Clear? Next is enter or entro, which is related, or which it provide the information related to intestine. Okay, for example, enteritis means intestinal inflammation. Okay, so if you want to show the inflammation related to intestine, then in that case we will use the medical terminology, that is enteritis. And if you want to show something, that is if you want to show a process where intestine is removed for some reason, then in that case we will use the terminology that is enterectomy. Enterectomy means removal of intestine. So I think those who are continuously watching these series, so they have good idea about the ectomy word, because now we have practiced this so much, and even when we are learning about the root word, it is again repeating all those suffixes, prefixes as well. That is why like we are taking care of it. Okay, all right. Now the next slide contains few more root word. The first one is colo or colon, colon or colono. Okay, so it is related to large intestine. Yes, for small intestine we discussed enter, and for the large one we are talking about the colon, which is colon is a meaning which means large intestine. So for example, if the terminology is colonoscopy, which means visual examination of the colon. Okay, so if doctor is performing the visual examination for colon, that means he is doing the colonoscopy. Likewise, we have colostomy. Colostomy means surgical opening of a colon. So otomy is something. Ostomy means something is related to surgical opening, right? We discussed this. So surgical opening of colon, col is there. So take now see, col is a root word. Ostomy is a suffix that is used for surgical opening of colon. Clear? Now the next and last root word for this session is cerebri or encephal. Okay, so these two are related to brain. So if something is related to brain, we will use this. For example, cerebrovascular, which is nothing but a brain blood vessels. So by looking at the root word only, you can easily identify what is the meaning of that terminology. Likewise, we have encephalitis. Encephalitis means brain inflammation. Okay, so yeah, these are the all root word which we discuss in this session. First is dermato, then renal, nephro, colon, cerebri or encephal. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding this, you are most welcome in the comment section. Just put your questions, I will try to help you there. And for practice purpose, like for your interviews and job practice purpose, for your exam practice purpose, I am providing one question in the end of each session. And for today's there is one question: what is the meaning of hapto root word? Not sorry, this is a typo, it's not word yeah, it's fine. Yeah, what is the meaning of hapto root word? So I'm sure like most of you already know the answer of this question, so please do share your knowledge in the comment section so that others can take a reference from it. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.